Hey there, Python pioneers, and welcome to the next video. So, in this video, we're going to learn about something very cool called the shelve module. Now, this is part of a mini series, I guess you could say, where we were talking about working with files in Python. So, we started with a crash course on classes. We talked about the pathlib module, the OS module, and reading and writing the files. Now, this is a special module that I wanted to kind of have a little bit of a sidebar on. It won't take that long, but I want to show you it. The shelve module is awesome. So let's say you're writing a program. Let's say you're writing a game, right? And you have an inventory in your game for your player. Well, wouldn't it be nice to save that inventory to a file, and when the player starts playing the game again, load their inventory up and let them pick up where they left off? Well, you can do that with the shelve module. So let's jump right in and see how that works. Well, the shelve module, again, is one of those modules that comes right out of the box with Python, so you don't need to install it. All you have to do is import shelve. And just like before, with most of the other things we've been using, we're going to use the thing we just imported. So we're going to type shelve.open, and we're going to create, you can choose whatever you want, but once you choose the name of what your shelf file is going to be, stick with it. So I'm going to create one called game state, okay? And I'm going to save it in a variable that I call game save, okay? Because it makes sense for what I'm trying to do. So shelf.open, and my shelf file is going to be game state. Now I'm going to go into my program, and let's just say I'm letting the player play for a little while, and at some point their inventory, this is kind of just, I want to show you in the mix of it how you might use it. Let's say at some point their inventory is a bat, a sandwich, a watch, and a water bottle. So they're ready for action. And their health is at 56, so maybe they need to eat the sandwich. But let's just say that those are the variables that we want to save, right? We want the players taking a break. They want to close out, but they want to save first. All you have to do to save is use that game save variable that we created and use square brackets and type out the name that you want to use. So this is a name you're going to use later to recall the values of the variables. But so I recommend naming them the same name as the variable in your program. That way it's kind of makes sense. But I'm going to save something called player underscore inventory, and I'm going to set it to player underscore inventory, which we know this player underscore inventory points to the list, right? Same thing for player health. I'm going to create player health in the square brackets here in a string, and I'm going to save the player health variable there. When I'm done, I'm going to call gamesave.close. Now, don't try to use the with method on the shelve module. It doesn't work like that. This isn't a normal file. Actually, it opens and creates many different files. And I told you in the other video you were going to learn how to read a binary file. Well, here you go. The shelf module is going to create a binary file that stores all this information for you. It's going to create a database and save these things. And if you were to try to go open that database with the normal open function, like you're going to open and read a plain text file, you won't be able to read it. So you have to use the shelve module to read it. Okay? So let's say we do that, we save, and then later on, maybe the next time you run the program, somewhere that it makes sense in your program, in the very beginning of the game starting, maybe you just try to load up the inventory and see or load up the game save and see what's been saved. So in order to do that, all I have to do is type out game save as my variable name. It could be anything, but for it to make sense, I'm calling it game save, and I'm calling the shelve.open method again, and this is a class method, right? Remember, because I'm calling it directly on the shelve module. So The shelve class, I'm calling it directly on there. I'm not creating an instance of the shelve class and creating an object. I'm calling this function directly on the class. And I'm calling open game state because that's what I saved it as before. And in order to get my variables back from however they were when we saved them, all I have to do is basically type out the same thing I did earlier, but in reverse. So my player inventory variable is equal to, and I'm going to set it to the value stored in game save, and I'm going to index in and get the value of player inventory. Okay, and same thing for player health. And if I were to do this, so I can actually run these to show you saving. So we saved our files, right? And now down here, when I run this code, which I already ran it before, but when I run it, it's going to load up and it's going to actually get the values. So player inventory is set to the same values we had before. And the health is also set. So in this way, you're actually able to save these values in your program. And that is so powerful because, nothing's more annoying for a user when they're using your program and every time they run it, it doesn't remember anything. So the shelve module will allow you to save some of your variables between runs. So I'm really interested to see what you're able to come up with and how you can use this in your program. So if you have any ideas about maybe how you would use it that are different from what I'm showing here, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. But yeah, that's the shelve module. And in the next videos, we're actually going to keep diving into working with files, and you're going to learn a little bit more about cleaning up files and some of the more in-depth features of working with files. So this was a good introduction, and we'll just keep on trucking. So I appreciate your time today, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of the shelve module. Until the next video, thank you.